Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And in today's stream, I'm going to be working a little bit more on my teaser trailer. I was working on a previous project before, and I wanted to touch up on that a little bit before I headed into working on this project. And I got quite a bit done, at least I think I did. I consider getting quite a bit done. I decided to work a bit more on the, excuse me, I decided to work a bit more on another scene rather than working on this scene so much. So let's see how much more I have left. Probably should have investigated my scenes earlier, but I'm just looking back, making sure I got everything. So yeah, I got the hair, the body. I'll do the pupils later in a bit. Let's see. So I would like to know, how has everyone been? I've been pretty good. Mm, I've pretty much just been chilling. I actually picked up the habit of watching different podcasts and different shows while I'm working on this animation. I've watched, I've rewatched The Magicians. I've been watching LA by Night, and I started watching Seattle by Night. All in all, things have been pretty good. And it's been pretty nice for me to just watch something or have a bit of white noise in the background while I work on my other projects. What I like to do, what I've started doing is, I shouldn't say what I've started doing, but what I like to do when I animate is I like to draw the line art first, and then after I'm done with the line art, that is when I go back and I color everything. It's usually easier for me to just color after I've done all of the other stuff. I just decided to add a few blank keyframes so that I can have some good drawing. Just give me a moment to figure out what I'm trying to draw. Sometimes it takes a moment. Mhm. Now, while I wait for this thing to auto save, um, hmm, oh, it's already done. I guess I don't have to talk yet. I will say that all in all, I've really enjoyed just taking a second, chilling out, and just streaming, doing this. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do not have the best luck with employment. I kind of think I'm cursed because maybe I've already told you guys this story, but essentially, back when I was living on campus, I tried to find a job. So I applied to 25 jobs in a row, and not one of them called me back. I didn't get a job. Like, I went through college not having any sort of on campus job, and I wanted a job. Like, I wanted to work, I wanted to have some carrying cash or different things like that. Like, maybe there was something I wanted to buy, or there were school supplies I wanted to get, and I didn't want to have to ask for money. Because when you get a certain age, you want to be independent. Or at least, how do I put this? It's like there is a certain level of shame or independence that people desire once they reach a certain place. And we all go through it. We all want some sort of independence. So when people feel that urge, they try to prove themselves or they try to strike out on their own. And that's what I tried to do. Sadly, I just couldn't find a job. And I really tried to find one. And so now that I have graduated, I'm still in that boat of I can't find a job for the life of me. And it's not like and I keep saying this, like I want to work. It's not that I don't want to work, but literally no company has taken a chance on me, which is why I really hate when people talk about homelessness or when people talk about unemployment and they just say, oh, just go out and get a job. There are people who try to go out and get a job, they just can't get one. So it's not easy to say, oh, just go out and get a job, you're being lazy. Like, I spend hours on job sites. I spend hours applying for jobs, getting my portfolio ready. Uh, I'll take literally anything. I've applied to Best Buy. I've applied to Walmart. I've literally applied everywhere. And it's just radio silence. Anyway, that's a somber subject. I'd rather not spend another I'd rather not spend another stream talking about my bad luck, because then I'll just never concentrate. I will say that one of the downsides of animating on your own really is the time it takes for you to draw stuff. Like, this has taken me a while, and that's not a bad thing because for this animation in particular, I am in fact taking my time. I don't want to do a rush job or try to get it done as fast as possible because I want to ensure that the quality is good when this video goes live. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel kind of afraid. Like, what if I take too long and I don't pick up traction for this video? Or what if, I don't know, I upload this video and it gets no views? Because in many ways, this is, in fact, my future. Like, again, another negative subject. I better not bring you guys down. Sorry. Now, I do think after this stream, I do plan on making a video. I'll probably make a video about purging, essentially purging the history of your different software, because that does save up on RAM. And I've talked about it in previous streams. I said last stream I'll make a video about it. But I'm going to start writing the script, or at least the bullet list for it, after this stream. Some of the lore for Witches 13 is done, so now I'm going to start working on the script. And I think for this story, I shouldn't start with the leader, Owoh. I do have one character plan. I don't really have a concrete name for him yet, but his name is Dutch. He is one of the, well, that's like a plan name, like a code name or whatever. Essentially, he is a super soldier, or rather, he is a part of the military, and he was experimented on using magic because the military was trying to reinforce soldiers using the newly discovered magic that is new to the world. And his whole thing is that he's pretty much new to the world. He didn't really understand magic. He was just a soldier. He just used like his muscles and his fighting prowess or whatever, and guns. So it's like, so he's just the new member on the block. And what I want to avoid when writing him is I want to avoid a sort of audience insert or a character that knows nothing, because I want to go for a more subtle type of world building. Like, I think Avatar The Last Airbender did it pretty well, where it's like you know exactly how the world works, because even though Aang is a bit of a audience insert, at the same time he's not, because he's his own character with his own sort of foreknowledge to things. And you could argue that Aang even teaches Sokka and Katara stuff as well, because he knows things about the world that they don't know. But then Sokka and Katara, they're more knowledgeable on sort of social things and social cues that Aang isn't aware of. So that's something that I want to try and push or project, is the fact that each character has knowledges as well as things that they don't fully understand, to avoid characters that should know things that they don't know, like some of what other shows do. I want to avoid that. And I think what's sort of silly is the fact that I just graduated and I'm already starting to work on a show. But like, I bet there are some people saying, like, dude, you could have waited till after you got a job. You could have done XYZ and then made your show. And I'm like, yeah, honestly, I could have done that. And that might have been the best thing for me to do, because I know that I have little to no experience writing a show. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because it feels like this is the only thing I can do right now. Because I've literally tried everything else and nothing else has worked. So is my work going to get terribly torn apart? Probably. Am I going to get judged? More than likely. Are people going to say that my work is crap? I don't doubt it. I already know it's happening. It's going to happen. But like at this point, what is there for me to do? What can I do? There's literally nothing. Because everything leading up to this point is like, hey, nobody wants to hire you. You have this degree, you have these skills. Nobody you've sent out announcements that you're taking commissions. Nobody wants commissions from you. So you might as well just do this. You might as well throw caution to the wind, go balls to the walls and just make your own show. And like if it gets picked up, then so be it. If people see your skill and want to hire you after this, then that's a good thing. So anyone who is watching this stream, anyone who watches my videos, whether I'm live right now and you're watching right now, or you're one of those, or I shouldn't put it like that. That sounds kind of weird. Or if you are a person who likes to watch streams after they finished, I may have a low tone of voice. I may sound sad or upset, and I'm not gonna lie. I am sad. I am upset, but I'm still moving forward. I'm still pushing forward. I'm still trying to do something and have something. I haven't given up on hope yet. So if you're watching this and if you don't have a job, or if you're having a tough day, or if things aren't going your way, then keep moving forward, keep pushing forward, do something. You may not be able to see it now, you may not be able to see it yet, but something is coming for you. You will have something. You will do something. Because, in all honesty, you don't know what can happen. You don't know what good can come from what you choose to do. And honestly, keep your mind open because you can plan all you want, but life has a way of turning your plans and your ideas up on your head. When I was 12, 13 years old, I thought I'd have a job by now. I thought I'd be living in my own apartment, maybe have a girlfriend by now, and I don't. And I can't really say that I'm sad that I don't have everything I want. It's more so like a catharsis or a melancholy. It's like, this isn't what I was expecting. This isn't what I wanted. But hey, I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. There's still more for me to do that I can do. Okay, it looks like Adobe Animate is slowing down, so I'm about to do that purging thing that I told you guys about. Just go through here, clear history. It helps to save first just in case. Now, I always save. I forgot what exactly happens. I think I purged the history on Adobe Animate once, and it brought me back a few like undo states. So then I had to redraw a piece of animation. So that's why I always make sure that I save it first and then clear my history to ensure that when it deletes my history, I everything that I just drew, it stays there. Okay. So I see the issue with this frame. I quick sketched this back when my foreshortening skills weren't as good. So this knee right here needs to come up some more, about right here. So then I can shorten this foot and have this foot come up to be about right here, and then the knee can be obscured over here. The one issue I'm facing is the torso is too big, so I may actually just have to scrap this entirely and just rough out a new keyframe to act as a sort of replacement for this, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Animation has a lot of, what's the word? There's a lot of going back or following up on mistakes, which is why if you're an animator, they teach you, hey, make as few mistakes as possible. And they also teach us that Command Z and the eraser tool are good tools because in case you make a mistake, you can always go back. But at the same time, mistakes are unavoidable. It's life, folks. You can't escape every mistake you make. So you just learn to try to make as few mistakes as possible. And I make quite a few mistakes. Now, I shouldn't say quite a few mistakes, but I do mess up from time to time. I'm just one of those people that hate saying that I mess up. Like, that's one of my vices. Anyway, let me go on a new layer. I'm going to go right here and allow me to use some blue. Let's unlock this layer right here. Okay. Now I am watching this foot right here. This foot is supposed to come down. Now if I do, the sternum needs to be somewhere right here. Now with foreshortening, we're actually not going to see this much with the legs, so I'm going to have to go back here. The one issue, or the one problem I have right now is foreshortening makes proportions go a bit wonky. So what happens is when you have an object going back in the background or coming towards you, if it's coming towards you, it's getting bigger. If it's going farther back, it gets smaller. Now, what the issue I'm facing with this scene in particular is with the previous scene, I'm having this foot right here is closer than this foot. So this foot is obviously going to be bigger, but because this leg is coming forward into the foreground, in the next frame, I'm going to have to draw it getting bigger. But at the same time, because the character is simultaneously, let me zoom out, coming forward, he's meant to be getting exponentially bigger. I think the issue I'm having is that the legs are too short and the torso is too big. So I can use the lasso tool to decrease this half of the body, the top half, and then use it to increase the bottom half. So allow me to lock this layer. I'm going to just select it all. I'll bring the anchor point to about right here. And I'm going to hold shift and increase the size of the figure. But at the same time, I'm going to hold my lasso tool. I'm going to select the top half of the body, go back to the transform, put the anchor point about right there, hold shift, and I'm going to decrease the size of the upper torso, and then I'll just recenter it, move it a little left or right. Allow me to decrease it a bit more, widen it a bit, and that should be good. Yes, that should be good where it is at right now. Now, I'm going to go back up here to this layer. Oh, I forgot to lock these two. just taking a second. I'm gonna sip some more of my coffee. What was I talking about earlier? I think I was talking about the script for the pilot episode. So, the pilot episode, I wanted to start from. I want to start the story not from the beginning, but a few years into the actual development of the world, because following the cascade, that was when government sort of had to reform itself. And there wasn't really a dystopia, so to speak, because there were still semblances of government in this world. So, for the sake of ease, cities are cities still exist, basic government still exists, farming, agriculture, different things like that. It's pretty much modern day, or sort of that rough time between modern day and sci-fi. It's just now people have magic. So like the the pilot is going to heavily feature, I want to say, this new member of the group, which is 13. And like I said, he was a part of the military. He was a part of an experiment to create magic enhanced soldiers. And sadly, he was left barren, so he can't have any children. He's just a man who had a girlfriend, had a potential wife. He took on this experiment because they said that they'd give him more money, that he'd get better benefits, that he'd be stronger. And the experiment left him unable to have children. So then he got angry, upset. He broke up with his girlfriend. And now he's seeking revenge against the company that altered him. And that is when he finds Witches 13, which is this organization of like minded men and women who have also been hurt in different ways. There's one character, he's like fairly young. His parents were scientists and they were experimented on and sort of left insane and crazy. A female scientist, she was discredited and her research was stolen from her. So that's why she's seeking revenge. And there are many other characters and many new characters that will be introduced in this pilot. I think how I want to go about it is perhaps a sort of not an anthology, rather what's the word? A recurring cast where each episode will focus on different groups or different clusters of characters rather than every single character. Because it's not like they can just go out there and attack their enemy directly. They have to be more charismatic and suave about it. They have to set up propaganda. They have to target fundraisers and different things like that. They have to discredit their enemy. So the pilot episode is essentially going to be setting up certain major figures or big figures and exposing the reason why these people are seeking revenge or justice. So you'll get backstory on certain characters, other characters, you'll get like little hints or glimpses without being overtly told. You'll see other supporting characters, like there's a pastor, and he is sort of acting as a bit of a foil to the main characters. Essentially, like the main characters will come into a church, they'll come to tell the pastor like what they've done, or they'll have these philosophical moments where maybe it's a good thing that I'm seeking revenge, maybe I'm not too sure about this, and that's really supposed to be like reflection for them. And then I also have an idea for like two or three police characters who are investigating Witches 13, and they go to like different scenes where they're finding evidence. They're always like one or two steps behind them. They can't really find the witches in the act. They're usually there to sort of piece together and pick up what's been done. And I think what we'll see least of is the actual company, the actual organization. Um, I had a name for it. I had a name for the company. It's in my notes. Sadly, I don't have my notes pulled up because I've been working on this animation. I'll probably refresh on my notes and then tell you guys in like a future stream. But the least we'll probably see from is the actual company because, again, you may see like certain figures or characters who personally attack the people in Witches 13, and it's meant to be up to interpretation. Like, do the witches hate the company or do they hate certain people in the company? And will that trickle down to them hating the actual company because maybe like the company enabled certain things or were protected because of money or laws and bylaws, different things like that. So it's really this struggle between what is and isn't stated. And the overarching theme for the show is really the overarching theme of the show is hope and the want for something more or the want for something bigger and better than oneself. And I guess concepts like greed or living above one's means can also be explored and sort of tested or questioned in this show as well. Because again, you can want for more and you can want for better, but at the same time, perhaps you shouldn't want for too much because then that may lead you to become materialistic. And then those materialistic desires can cause you to undergo a certain failure. Or you'll become blind to certain things that you probably wouldn't have if you had become more tame. I was just enjoying some coffee. I actually just finished it. Okay, I think that went pretty well. Just need to draw a frame for between these two. I'll probably rough something out later. I'm almost done. I just need to do the hair. I'll probably give this to the hat. I think he looks like a hat person. I need to do one more character, and then I need to just color, and then I'll be done with this scene. Everything's gone along pretty nicely, and I've noticed that the more I animate, the faster I go, and the more detailed I get, which is good and bad. It's good that I'm growing, but it's kind of bad that people will see my quality isn't. I'm not going to say it's not consistent, more so like things are getting sharper, better, or more defined throughout me working on this animation. I'm glad I am getting better. Of course, I'm glad I'm getting better. And I'm glad that I'm animating faster because that was one of the issues I had, is particularly my speed when it comes to animation. But I do think that streaming has helped me with my animation. Me streaming myself, me being intent and sort of just streaming and working as I continue to work on this has helped me grow in my animation, which is really nice. And as I think about it, as I reflect on it, I am happy, I am glad that I have been growing. It just feels so cathartic to do what I love. And now I'm just working on this scene right here, this piece of animation. I had to redo it because I didn't like the original set of animation I had planned for it. So I just said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna do XYZ instead. I think I'm gonna switch it up some. And lo and behold, that's what I decided to do. So right now what I'm working on is I'm animating the head and the hair so that I know how things move. So when I do the different things like the body and the face and the eyes and other things like that, I have a clearer and better picture of how things are going to go and what things are supposed to look and be where. I think what I love most about Ao, this character I'm drawing, is probably his hair. He has dreads, and they're tied back dreads, so they're pretty long and thin. And his outfit, his style of clothing is more, I want to say, risque. He shows his shoulders, and he also has a tight fitting tunic. It's really a sense of sort of loss of oneself. I really wanted to project that in his character design because before what happened to him, before his accident, he used to wear lab coats and very formal clothing. His hair was really short. And so that change from short hair to long dreads is really a sense of, how do I put this? It's a sense of embracing one's circumstances. And then again, his dreads are tied back, so he still has some restraint in himself and in his mannerisms. As for his formal clothing, it's something more risque and kind of revealing. It's also that shift from, again, owning oneself. And I didn't really draw it in these rough sketches, but essentially, he has markings and sort of this taint on his body. When when the accident happened, when he was shunted into like this void type area, he became tortured and his body kept getting destroyed and remade. So he has a slit red eye, and on his arms and under his clothes there are areas of his skin where they are purple, where it's purple and tainted. So despite being tainted and corrupt, he still chooses to he still chooses to reveal certain parts of his body as a sort of ownership or fighting back his shame. Which is something I really like, and I really like this character. And you're gonna see other characters who have certain design elements as well. I just haven't gotten around to showing them to you guys in this stream because again, sadly this is a teaser trailer. It's not the pilot just yet. For the pilot, you're gonna see more characters like Nancy, who is a young illusionist kid, and his whole thing is that he's a bit of a street kid. He has to live on the streets because his parents are mentally unstable. They were in an accident and now they can't care for him. He's essentially become a parent for his parents. So he has a very sort of rough exterior. His clothing is kind of messy. He's kind of like a scraggly looking kid, but he still has some sort of formality and control to him. There's also a female scientist. I don't have a name for her yet. I really had design first, but she hasn't lost her love of science. She still wears very formal clothing like stockings. She has a turtleneck sweater she wears, a nice skirt, and she wears a lab coat, but one thing is that her lab coat is clear. Her desire transparency and revealing the truth. There are a few more characters I'm brainstorming as well. Apologies, I haven't really had time to. I do have ideas for characters and I have an idea for the world. I just haven't had the chance to draw a big collage of everything that I have so far. So please forgive me for that. I've been going for quite a while now, as it is. I think I might call this. I think I might call this stream here. I am getting hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. I had like breakfast, but I haven't had lunch. So sadly, I do have to put this to a close. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I try not to stream past 2. I am gonna try and start streaming at 10 instead of like 11 or 12. I do apologize for that. I want to apologize for that. Anyway, it was nice. It was nice sitting and chatting. It was nice going over some world building topics and other things like that. I did glance at my feed every now and again, and I saw a few people come in and out, and that's always nice. It's nice to have people come in once in a while. Anyway, now I'm just started rambling again, so please excuse me for that. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own corner of art. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even, get the word out. Road to 100 people, 97 subscribers, and I'm slowly growing, and I'm loving it. I love making videos and sharing things with you guys. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art, and I'll see you guys in my next video or stream.